Question is the motion be agreed to, and I call the member for McKellar.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I rise today to speak about an issue I wish we did not have to speak about. Suicide is the leading cause of death for Australians aged between 15 and 44. This simply is not good enough. On the 10th of September, it was World Suicide Prevention Day, a day aimed at eradicating that awful statistic. We cannot stay silent on an issue such as this. Suicide accounts for more deaths in our youth than car accidents. We lose 8 Australians every single day, one person every 3 hours, to this horrendous epidemic. Even one life lost is one life too many. The coalition government has made mental health a priority, with a record level of funding in the 2019-2020 budget, with $503 million for youth mental health and suicide prevention plan, this being the largest suicide prevention strategy in Australia's history. This funding was, and always will be, about saving lives. The Morrison government is committed to working towards zero suicides. This government is committed to working with local communities to reduce the number of deaths by suicide. In the McKellar community, groups like Man Anchor, a local organisation that is dedicated to the enlightenment of the modern man on a range of subjects through advocating for men's mental health. Through Man Anchor, I'm a proud #Let'sTalk ambassador, encouraging men to talk about mental health struggles. Gotcha for Life is another excellent organisation in McKellar that was established to reverse the tide of declining mental health and reduce suicide in men and boys. Gotcha for Life believes in healthy masculinity, giving men and boys the tools to start meaningful conversations by developing better social and emotional connections with their mates, families and community. In 2019 alone, tragically there have been 7 youth suicides in my electorate of McKellar, 7 that I'm aware of, 7 young lives with the world at their feet, 7 families that will never be the same again. We cannot allow this to happen any longer. Investing in suicide prevention is a must. Throughout this year, suicide has hit very close to home on the northern beaches. Avalon Youth Hub is an organisation that walks the walk. They provide on-the-ground support for friends, peers and families that have lost a loved one to suicide. In the hours, days and months after these awful events, communities struggle. I'm proud to represent a community that fights for each other, that comes together in times of need. Thank you to the community groups in McKellar that provide support for those who need it most. Many I have not had time to mention today. With $375 million to fund an additional 30 headspaces nationwide, Headspace is doing an excellent job of providing youth-friendly services for our young Australians. I will continue to advocate for a Headspace on the upper northern beaches where it is much needed, ensuring that adolescents in McKellar have accessible and relatable mental health services. The government has committed $33.8 million over 4 years to enhance and increase the responsiveness of Lifeline's telephone crisis support line. I'm honoured to have John Brogden and his wife Lucy Brogden as constituents of mine, and all the efforts that they have made to ensuring that this service is world-leading and has helped so many avoid the scourge of suicide. Lifeline is a service that has proved to work and to save lives. We are committed to real solutions that will work to prevent suicide. A further $12 million in funding for National Suicide Prevention Research Fund, managed by Suicide Prevention Australia, money that will support targeted research. $15 million has been invested in the creation of a real-time suicide and self-harm monitoring system, giving communities data needed to provide rapid assistance when and where it is needed.
Thank the member